What a punch, what a knockout. Fabio Wardley wins again. Watch this video. Hello, welcome to Tommy Edson. I hope you're all well. Very quick video here. As we saw last night, Fabio Wardley in the 10th round knocked out Justis Huni in a dramatic knockout finish. But he was losing the fight. Well down, while losing the fight. Before I continue, just a big shout out to Callum Simpson against Zuko. What a great fight that was for him, and a great win for him as well. Simpson, so he's now British, Commonwealth and European champion. Onwards and upwards for him. But all the talk is really about Fabio Wardley. He was being schooled. He was being totally outboxed. But just let his guard down. Justis Huni just got into a bit of a tussle where he didn't really need to engage, just need to keep him at distance, really, and he would have cruised to a victory. But just as he was walked in, he basically walked into a short right hand, all the power there, and he just went down like a sack of spuds. Now, I don't really want to talk about the fight in itself. A win's a win, you know, it is what it is. But I think we can all agree that his performance, Fabio Wardley's performance, he was just basically outboxed. And now he's WBA interim world champion. You've got Caballero, who's WBC interim, and you've got Parker, who's WBO interim as well. So you've got 3 interim world champions sitting, lying in wait. Now, I still don't believe that Fabio Wardley should be at that level. Now, he won another knockout. He's what, 19 and 1 now in terms of a draw. He's got what, 20 fights, all the knockouts. But I still say, as I said in a preview video, who has he fought? What level really is he at? He surprises us time and time again, but he still hasn't reached that level of opponent. I would say that is top 10 world level. Now, you could argue he's in around the top 10. I would definitely say that. And I suppose there's even an argument to say that he's in and around top 5. But to be right at the number, you know, right at the top there, that WBA interim world champion at that level is, in terms of next step, is to fight one of the big, you know, the real heavy hitters. He's in that elite. I just don't see it. I just don't see where he's at. Not yet. Now, for me, there are 2 big talking points on this fight in particular. Lots of people are saying there should be an immediate rematch because the count for Huni to get up was way too short. It was about 7 seconds or something like that. I think there's a counter argument here, is because it's always down to the referee to see what he sees in the fighter's eyes at that time. Can he make it to the 10 count? I think he should have been given the full 10 count. That even if he wasn't, I think, you know, you could clearly see, or you could clearly see at that point he was never going to continue. The problem is that we, as the spectator at home, we couldn't see it because the stupid cameraman turned the camera to Frank Warren and his cronies as well. You know, how they would just, they see their reaction. Well, they should have kept the camera feed right on the fighters there. I mean, I don't know what the hell they were thinking. So there's the counter there. Was it too short? Does it justify a rematch? Well, on the basis of that alone, you would say, yeah, it does justify a rematch. But at the same time, if he's allowed to continue, you know, Fabio Wardley would like to just pounce on him anyway. And, I don't think it would have gone very well for Huni. So on the face of it, I think that actually it was a good decision to stop the fight there. And but I do agree it was a bit too short on the time, but I think the outcome probably wouldn't have been exactly the same. He probably received a lot more damage, and also it was a devastating punch from Fabio Wardley, and he just continues to surprise us. But I still say I just don't think he's at that level. I don't think he's at that level to go on. Now, the second point is that on the rematch, does it warrant a rematch in terms of, well, does it make sense? Well, for Justis Huni, yes, absolutely, it makes sense for him because he was clearly winning the fight. He was clearly schooling Fabio Wardley in the art of boxing, not in fighting, in the art of boxing. And he was definitely pointing him, and all he had to do was just cruise to the 12th round, and it would have been a clear win. It would have been an easy win. It probably would have been 10-2 or something like that. You know, it would have been even a case for an 11-1 at that point. You know, so we would have been talking a huge points difference here. Obviously, it never got to that stage. But there's a case on that alone to say, well, actually, there's a good rematch here. So for Huni, yes. But for Fabio Wardley, I think he even said in a post-fight interview to say, look, you know, well, what's the point? there's nothing in it for me. It's now I've knocked him out, regardless of my performance, regardless of how, what you might interpret it. I'm paraphrasing what he said here, of course, but I totally agree what he says here. There's nothing in it for me here. I need to go on to the next stage, and I totally agree. My point here is for Fabio Wardley. I don't think the next stage for him is a world title fight, and I certainly don't think the next stage for him is even in the same level of Caballero and Joseph Parker. I just can't see it. Yes, he's heavy-handed. Yes, he's energetic. Yes, he's athletic. He's got great attributes. But in terms of boxing IQ and boxing ability, he's still very raw. He can easily be caught out. So if you've got other heavyweights in that level, let's say, but have also got the things that he misses, but they're also heavy-handed as well, he's gonna come unstuck really quickly for me. So I think it's a fantastic win for Fabio Wardley. I say he surprises us every time. And what do you do with him? Do you say, okay, you put him to the next level at that elite level, or do you say no, he needs a few more build-up fights? And for me, he can earn a lot of money with high-profile names, but they're still building up fights. But the problem is they've put him in this position now where he's WBA interim champion. I just don't see him at that level. Let me know in the comments below. Does he need a rematch on the basis of the short count for Huni? I think for Huni, yes. For Wardley, no. I think he goes on to bigger and better things. He proves us all wrong again. But is his level really at the level where his ranking is right now? I just don't see it. And I just don't see him I see him no higher than a top 5 right now, based upon who he's actually fought. And that's the problem. Who is he actually fought? I mean, even if you put him in with the likes of, I don't know, Joe Joyce, for example. Yeah, the way Joe Joyce has been fighting of late, yeah, he probably beat him. But I just don't think it will be a clear victory. If you put him in the likes of, even Derek Chisora, that would be a war for him. Yeah, he might win. I really can't say at this stage. But I think Derek Chisora would give him a decent fight. But if you're talking at that level, then maybe even better, slightly better than those. Even though Derek's the number 1 in the IBF, I mean, I don't get that either. But it just goes to show that there's a narrow gap between your standard heavyweight and then the elite, and I think there should be a bigger gap there. There should be more fighters for Fabio to get in, and it could be just the crop that we've got right now. But look, this is not taking anything away from Fabio Wardley. I just think he needs another 2 or 3 fights before he jumps into that level. And before he's world title level. This could be way off base for me, but that's where I see it. Let me know your thoughts in the comments below. If you know what to do here, keep on watching the videos. And don't forget, you can go to the website, revelatoralf.com, for all the books, the sporting books that I sell there, and all the merchandise and everything there as well. Right, and with that, well, on to the next fight and on to the next reaction. Catch you again. Bye now.